Millions along the U.S. Gulf Coast are bracing for Hurricane Delta. It is now strengthened to a major Category 3 storm and is expected to make landfall in Louisiana on Friday. This will be the fourth hurricane to hit the region this season. Many communities there are still recovering from the last one. Mireya Villarreal has more.
Tonight, thousands of Lake Charles residents are being told to get out now with Hurricane Delta set to slam the coast in 24 hours. Cars crowding the city's major escape routes, many schools and businesses shutting down. This city is still recovering from Laura, the Category 4 hurricane that hit just 6 weeks ago. Blue tarps still covering many roofs. Kathy Connor and her husband are planning to evacuate tomorrow.
If we got a lot of rain and all of this debris just starts floating around, that gets dangerous.
This is the fifth time Louisiana has been under a state of emergency this hurricane season.
Southwest Louisiana is going to get more of a punch from this than we would like to see, for sure.
Lake Charles Mayor Nick Hunter.
To be facing yet another hurricane is just a really scary proposition.
The mayor tells me he is worried about all of this turning into projectiles. So far, they have collected more than 1.5 million cubic yards of debris. And as you can see, they are far from being done. If you take a look from the sky, you can actually see what we are seeing on the ground. Block after block looks just like this, with blue tarps on top of rooftops that can easily be blown off as that hurricane hits on Friday. Lana?
Wow, Mireya, thank you. CBS News meteorologist and climate specialist Jeff Berradeli has been tracking the storm and joins us now. Jeff, what's the latest on Hurricane Delta? Where is it headed next? What more can you tell us?
Yeah, so, you heard Mireya talking about it. This storm could hit 15 miles from where Hurricane Laura hit as a Cat 4. That was 6 weeks ago. This one looks to be a major hurricane, Cat 3. Let's show you the storm. It's gotten a little better organized during the day today. Still not a textbook classic shape to it, but there is an eye that is formed. Most of the thunderstorms on the western side, so it's a bit lopsided. Nevertheless, the winds are 115 miles an hour right now. It's located about 300 miles from Cameron, Louisiana, the same place that we had Laura hit just 6 weeks ago. Here's the official forecast track from the National Hurricane Center, making landfall late tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, right there in the western part of Louisiana, and then quickly losing steam as it moves northward into the southeast. But take a look at how close the track is from Laura. That was Laura making its way across Lake Charles. This is the storm kind of crossing the coast right around or just east of Cameron, Louisiana. I mean, really within 15 miles, literally, perhaps even less than that. Here's the official forecast of the wind gusts that we're expecting from this storm. And as it approaches the coast, look at how circular the storm is. And anywhere you see in the orange, that's Cat 3 winds. In the yellow, that's Cat 2 winds. So we're going to see some damaging winds, a lot of power outages, trees down, possibility of roofs that are going to be torn off. And then all of Louisiana and parts of the southeast are going to see tropical storm force winds as this moves inland on Saturday. And as far as storm surge goes, in the orange, that's generally around 4 to 6 feet, but some places as much as 6 to 9. Some isolated areas as much as 11 feet of storm surges possible. One more thing I want to show you is take a look at this. This happened one other time where we had two storms that in the same season hit the exact same place 3 weeks apart from each other. In 2004, Hurricane Francis hit Stuart, Florida. Look at Hurricane Jean in 2004, exactly right on top of Stuart, Florida. So this kind of thing does happen. It's so 2020, but it is rare.
Yeah, you know, your heart just breaks for those communities that are still struggling to clean up after Laura and are now having Delta bear down on them. Jeff, give us a little bit of a reality check on this. How much of the repeat hurricanes that we're seeing in the area are related to climate change versus just bad luck?
Yeah, so, well, the fact that they're hitting the same area, that's bad luck. But the fact that we're seeing, so many hurricanes and more so many major hurricanes this year, and we've been seeing more of those the past several years, that has at least something to do with climate change. Let me show you. Water temperatures since around 1900 have gone up around 2 degrees Fahrenheit in the tropical Atlantic. The chance of a storm at any one time being a major hurricane back around 1980 was about a 15 to 20% chance. Look at the chance right now. It's all the way up to around 35 to 40%. So that means that there's about a twice as good a chance today that a storm at a given time will be a major hurricane than back in 1980 in the Atlantic Ocean. So that's a pretty big impact.
Well, this week, NOAA released its report on billion-dollar disaster events in the U.S. So far, Hurricane Laura has caused the most damage at $14 billion. What more can you tell us about that, and what other major disasters were mentioned in that study?
So we've had $16 billion disasters this year alone. That ties for 2011 and 2017. But remember, we're only in the beginning of October, so we have another 3 months. Now, this storm, Delta, could very well turn out to be a billion-dollar storm that would put us over the top. It's not surprising that this is happening this year. It's been a dramatic year in terms of weather and climate all over the world. But what's interesting is these billion-dollar disasters, which, by the way, are adjusted for inflation, have been going up dramatically from the 80s to the 90s to the 2000s. In fact, back in the 1980s, we really only saw a few billion-dollar disasters per season. Now we're seeing an average over the past few years of close to maybe 14 or 15 per season. This year, 16 or 17 or more. So you can see as you warm the climate, you put more energy into the climate, into the oceans, you cause these disasters to be bigger. There are more of them, and they cause a lot more damage. Now, it's not just climate change. It's also that we have a lot more assets, a lot more property in harm's way. And so that is also contributing as well. So it's kind of a 1-2 punch. And billion-dollar disasters are really skyrocketing, not quite at an exponential rate, but they're going up very fast.
All right, Jeff, thank you.